Hello guys, thank you so much for coming to join us today. Can you tell me more about what social investment is and what kind of work you guys do?
So SIB, Social Investment Business, we are a charity and a social investor. And social investment is basically, trying to use finance for social good. So we do a few different things. I guess the kind of main thing is we provide loans, sometimes alongside grants, for charities, community organisations, social enterprises. And we try and get that money out to places that I guess otherwise would have barriers or have difficulty accessing finance. But we also in SIB manage quite a lot of grant funding as well. So for example, at the moment we've been doing a lot of capital projects with like youth centres across the country. So that's also kind of part of what we do at SIB as well. I guess that would be the kind of headline summary.
Yeah, I don't think loads to add. I think, yeah, that's like a sort of broad overview of what we do. And I suppose within SIB there's lots of different teams. So there's our investments team and grants team that do loads of kind of helping set up some of those funds depending on where the money's coming from and dealing with applications as they come in. And then we've also got the comms and marketing team, which does a lot of work just trying to kind of promote our funds externally and get customers and things and help them on that journey. And then there's a policy arm to our work as well, and trying to actually bring social investment into the policy landscape and kind of get into the government's ear a little bit about the opportunities that this kind of opens up and how it can help more broadly the social economy. So even, for example, talking about the energy resilience funds that we've got a lot of research alongside that to do with kind of looking at the state of community buildings around England and the UK and sort of showing that a lot of charities today and social enterprises are operating in buildings that are often old and drafty and therefore or maybe shared with other groups as well, and so they're not energy efficient, and that makes bills really expensive and it can be difficult to access finance if you do need to make changes like that. So this kind of thing kind of all comes together. So there's quite a lot going on in SIB's world, I think.
Camille, I wanted to ask you about your career journey so far. Do you mind just telling us about that?
So I started out working in the charity sector. Really enjoyed working there, and I then went to work for a different charity, the Fair Trade Foundation. If you've heard of them, but they put the little sticker on bananas and coffee and kind of audit supply chains. So I worked there for 8-9 years. They did some really interesting work, and then I left there to come and work at SIB, which was about 3 years ago, and here I am now. 3 years later.
Can you tell us maybe about your career journey?
Yes.
And like, you know, how you got to where you are now with SIB?
Yeah. I went to university and ended up studying philosophy, which was great and I really enjoyed it. I think during that time at uni and with my degree, what I really enjoyed was learning about sort of where the abstract theory like meets real world, and I got really involved in a group that was all about kind of social justice and putting on events to do with that. So I kind of left thinking I really think building some kind of career in the charity sector is sort of what I want to do. So just before SIB I was doing kind of marketing and social media at a kind of interesting, it was a non-profit but an offshoot of a research group at the University of Edinburgh. A bit different to what I'm doing now. So they were all about looking at cardiac arrest rates in Scotland. So it's basically looking at trying to increase survival rates of these patients because the main thing people need in that instance is CPR. And so there's a lot you can do to try and make sure that's getting to people and save more lives because, it's just quite a sort of overlooked problem, but
it is
important. And so as I joined, they had quite a small digital presence, but we were trying to use social media as part of this campaign called Restart a Heart, which is just a day in October where we try and teach as many people as possible CPR. And so we did this YouTube live stream that we were trying to get classrooms around Scotland to watch on the day. And it was part of like a Guinness World Record attempt. So we tried to attempt to teach, I think the title was most views of a CPR lesson in 24 hours. And so we did that, and I just kind of joined. They'd already decided to do this attempt, and I came in and thought, oh, this is great. I can like be part of this and try and do some social media work and different comms for this record. And then shortly after that, I joined SIB, or Social Investment Business, as marketing and events coordinator. So that's where I am now.
So that kind of goes on to my next question. How would you describe SIB in 3 words, both of you?
3 words. I'd say dynamic, maybe. Well, I feel like as an organisation, it's a great place to work. I feel like there's a really good kind of morale amongst staff. And I think in terms of the work we do, we work with so many different organisations across the country. So that's quite sort of diverse, different sort of charities, community projects, social enterprises. So yeah, there's kind of always something new happening. I would say, like, it's quite dynamic. That's sort of quite dynamic in that sense. There's often new funds, new organisations.
Yeah, that's good. I hadn't thought of that, but I think that's true. And I'd probably add, the word that came to my head was impact, just because of like the nature of the work, really. But I think dynamic. I think probably just genuinely quite collaborative. I feel, especially in my role, we were kind of saying this earlier, I get to work with lots of different teams, which is really nice, and talk to people who are working on different things.
So obviously now you fund Mama Youth Project. Is there a reason why, like a main reason why you decided to partner with us?
I think there's a few reasons, really. I mean, it was great to hear about the work that you do and exactly the sort of organisation we kind of want to work with and support. And I think we first heard about you through Ubele, who are a partner organisation of ours. I think, Deborah there had spoken to us about yourselves. I think it was like a perfect fit, really. Like, you met all the criteria for the funds that we had, and it's exactly the sort of kind of work and organisation, that we wanted to fund. So it's kind of met all of that criteria, and it was really exciting to see and hear about the work that they did. So.
Well, we're happy to have you as well, and thank you for supporting us.